Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Straight Fire Picks. Best bets for college football, week number 1 from September 2nd through September 4th. My name is Steve, and we're going to have 4 picks here for you today to start this new segment of college football that we're doing here on the channel, guys. I am super stoked to bring this to you. Super excited. I've been waiting for months for this, guys. This is like Christmas season for me. You know, this just feels like Christmas, getting to get into this college football stuff. If you are new to the channel here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. Really helps us grow this channel. And yeah, let's get right into it, guys. So at number 1, we are going with the over 50.5 points in the Georgia-Clemson game at minus 115 odds. Guys, we got JT Daniels here back at quarterback for Georgia. Which is very good, obviously. As you guys remember, JT Daniels is a former 5-star recruit at USC who got transferred over to Georgia. Obviously, we saw a little bit of him last year. We saw the flashes of what makes him so good. He's got all the skills. He's got all the tools. You know, he's very good in the appearances he made for Georgia last year in just 4 games. So, expecting more of that. I'm expecting him to take a leap up here in year 2 for sure. You know, Georgia's offense... last year overall averaged over 400 yards and 32 points a game, which obviously we like to see that. They're returning a lot of their starters. They're bringing back 4 starters on the offensive line. You got Zamir White back at running back as well for Georgia. You know, he was a force to be reckoned with. Over 700 yards last year for him and 11 touchdowns. And they run like 4 or 5 different backs. So Georgia goes very deep at running back. They're very deep, obviously, on the offensive line, very experienced, and obviously you got JT Daniels here leading the way, so I really like that for Georgia. And then, you know, for Clemson, we got DJ Ukulele at quarterback. I think we all know who he is. He appeared in 2 games last year and was very good. Threw for over 400 yards and 2 touchdowns against Notre Dame, so we like that, obviously. And he led a very good comeback there against Boston College, so... You know, Clemson's always a well-oiled machine on both sides of the ball, but particularly offensively, you know, we've come to know Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, you know, all these guys, Taj Boyd in years past. I'm expecting Ukulele to be very good, right up there with those guys. I don't think they'll miss a beat. And, you know, Georgia, honestly, on defense, struggled against some of the top teams. You know, when you talk about Alabama and Florida, you know, they gave up 41 points to Alabama and 44 to Florida last year, so... Can the Georgia defense give up points? Absolutely. And I think Georgia's also going to score some points. So I think this over is going to be very easy to cash, guys. We're going to see also Justin Ross back in action for Clemson, the stud at wide receiver. He's going to be very good as well. He's a top 10 talent. Obviously, he's returning from that career-threatening spinal injury that he got a couple years ago. So I think he's going to be very good as well. And Clemson's not going to have any problem really moving the ball. You know, obviously the defenses are good, so I don't expect it to be a complete shootout, but definitely I could see both teams here getting up into the higher 20s, lower 30s type of game. So look for that, guys. Take that for your number 1 pick. Over 50.5 points in the Georgia-Clemson game at minus 115 odds. Okay, guys, and at number 2, we got the Indiana Hoosiers money line versus the Iowa Hawkeyes at plus 148 odds. So, guys, there's a few factors I really love about this. For one, we got Michael Penix Jr. back at quarterback for Indiana. He's an absolute stud. If you guys recall last year, I don't know if you guys watched this game, I did, where he led that furious comeback against Ohio State that fell just short. Very rarely do you talk about stuff like that, but you saw the guts there on the road from Indiana. And overall, for the season for Indiana, they were very good. You know, they had that road win at Wisconsin, where defensively, you know, they played very well. So they're very capable on defense as well. And we got a lot of inexperience here for Iowa. We got 3 starters being replaced on both the offensive line and the defensive line for Iowa. So not that I don't think Iowa's going to be a great team this year at some point, and they're not going to have, you know, not going to have that physical style play that we come to see out of Iowa. But early on in the season, I definitely think they're going to struggle to find that chemistry, and Indiana's going to be able to take advantage of that because they have the experience. Definitely on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to see that. So, yeah, guys, and, you know, Tom Allen's just done a great job with this club, this Indiana club. There's a lot of things to love about, you know, Indiana. Indiana's going to be led on defense this year by Micah McFadden, the very good and very talented linebacker. So they're in good hands there. It did lose Jerome Johnson at defensive end, so that was a big loss on the pass rush, but they're still very loaded and talented also with as far as the pass rush goes. Biggest question mark, I think, for Indiana this year is going to be, can they stop the run game? So, that's obviously going to be something they got to, obviously lock down, especially early on here. Iowa, offensively is going to be very difficult to stop on the ground, but I think Indiana is definitely capable of doing it. And as far as, like I said, Indiana is going to have an edge offensively just against that inexperience that they're going to face there on the Iowa defense. So I really like that, guys. So take it right there, guys. Indiana money line for your number 2 pick versus the Iowa Hawkeyes at plus 148 odds. Okay, and at number 3, we got LSU minus 2.5 spread versus UCLA at minus 115 odds. Guys, I know LSU was not very good last year. Had a 5-5 season, really just was terrible on defense. Their offense was okay, but their defense was terrible. But guys, they're revamped and reloaded. LSU's back. They're going to bring that physicality that we've come to expect from the SEC, and they're bringing that, against UCLA here with the Pac-12. Honestly, we've seen this before. I mean, it's not that the Pac-12 can't pull an upset, but I am not expecting that here in Week 1 against LSU. Like I said, LSU is coming back stacked. They're returning all 4 starters on the defensive line, and they go very deep on the defensive line as well, with the names of B.J. Olajari and Mason Smith. And those are supposed to be the backups, and they can take the starting jobs because they're that good. So, like I said, between the pass rush and the run defense, they're going to be much better. They're already pretty good as far as on the back end. You got Derek Stingley Jr., might be the best all-around corner in the game in college football. So, I think they're going to be a lot better in that department as well. Between the pass rush and that secondary is going to be much improved. So, look for LSU to return on defense to what we've come to expect from them. And then you got quarterback Max Johnson stepping in here for LSU. Led 2 very impressive victories at the end of last season versus Florida and Ole Miss. Looked very well. Looked very good. Threw 8 touchdowns, 1 pick in those 2 games. So, it's like it wasn't supposed to be his job, but it ended up being dealt his job because of Brennan's injury. So, with his arm injury there. So, look for Max Johnson, guys, to lead a much improved LSU team overall. I just think LSU is going to have a big edge here because of the physicality mostly. And then, like I said, the defense is going to be a lot better. So, take it right there, guys, for your number 3 pick. LSU minus 2.5 spread versus UCLA at minus 115 odds. Okay, and finally at number 4, we are going a little bit off the beaten path here, guys. We are going with the Miami Hurricanes plus 19.5 spread versus Alabama at minus 110 odds. Guys, there's a lot of people that are probably going to take Alabama here. And, and a lot of reasons, they have a lot of good reasons for doing that because Alabama is usually very good in season openers. But I think in this case, Derek King's experience over Alabama quarterback Bryce Young is going to show. Bryce Young, Miami is no scrub team. Miami is ranked 14th. They're not a bad team. I don't expect them to get rolled here. I do expect Alabama to win. I will say that. I'm still expecting Alabama to win the game, but I think Miami definitely covers a plus 19.5 spread with Derek King at quarterback. And obviously, we all know how talented he is. We all know what he can do. And Bryce Young is going to have a lot of work to do. They got a lot of pieces that they got to replace there for Alabama, including offensive play caller Steve Sarkisian, Najee Harris, obviously Mac Jones, who he's replacing, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. You got to replace all these pieces, and it's going to take some time for them to gel offensively and really get into a rhythm. And I think Miami the Hurricanes do have a very good pass rush, and they have a very good secondary. So, are they capable of rattling this guy? Sure they are. Absolutely. And I expect Miami to do that. Like I said, I don't expect them to win. You can't go in here and pick the Miami money line, even though it'd be a great hit. You'd win a crap ton of money if you could actually pick something like that. But, yeah, don't look for that to happen. But definitely take the spread here, guys. So I love that here for our number 4 pick. Take the Miami Hurricanes plus 19.5 spread versus the Alabama Crimson Tide at minus 110 odds. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for our picks for today. If you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We also run MLB picks on the other side of this channel as well. We're going to have NFL picks also next week when the NFL season starts. I'm all psyched about that. And we will be going over results for college football on a weekly basis. So we'll go over these results next week when we do our picks for college football next week. Just so you guys are aware of that, of how we kind of roll. But yeah, other than that, guys, appreciate all your guys' support. We have a great community here at Straight Fire Picks, so appreciate you guys for watching this. Like I said, have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And we will catch you next week for more college football picks. Peace out.